The Cockroach Janta party. I know, right? It sounds like a total punchline. But today, we are unpacking a very real, very bizarre collision between an internet meme and a high-stakes legal petition right in India's constitutional courts. Let's dive right into how digital irony literally became a matter of public security. So why on earth is the Delhi High Court dealing with a cockroach junta party? How does a movement named after a household pest escalate to the point of a public interest litigation? Let's trace how an internet joke provoked some serious courtroom drama. It's a wild contrast, really. Picture this. On one side, you have this chaotic digital campaign blowing up overnight with millions of followers, fueled entirely by memes and viral momentum. And up against that, a super rigorous, formal legal petition citing severe concerns for public order. It is the ultimate clash of two completely different worlds, the totally unpredictable energy of social media activism versus the highly structured, very serious environment of the judiciary. Enter the Save India Foundation. These guys decided this online movement was absolutely not just a joke, it was a real-world threat. By filing a public interest litigation, or PIL, they bypassed your standard complaints and demanded immediate, proactive measures from the union government and Delhi police. They were looking to actively lock down the national capital and ensure critical infrastructure remained completely uninterrupted. And their allegations? Well, they were severe. The foundation argued this wasn't just some casual digital meetup. They claimed it was a highly coordinated campaign, explicitly targeting young people, spreading inflammatory messages, issuing direct threats of resistance against law enforcement, and actively calling for the disruption of public infrastructure. Their argument was that if this mobilization went unchecked, it posed an immediate physical danger to public safety in Delhi. So what was actually at stake here? To put it in perspective, the foundation pointed to some incredibly sensitive targets: the IGI airport, major transport hubs, and the proposed gathering site at Janta itself. Their ultimate demand was straightforward: lock down these specific crucial areas so a massive crowd wouldn't just paralyze the city's emergency services. They wanted ironclad assurances that normal civic life could keep functioning. Now, they didn't just rush straight to the courts. They started on June 4th by formally asking the Commissioner of Police for preventive crowd management, but crickets. With no adequate response or announced framework, and the protest date creeping closer by the hour, they escalated straight to step 3. They filed that urgent PIL with the Delhi High Court to legally force the authorities to act. Okay, but let's pause for a second. Where did a group named after a literal household pest even come from? It obviously wasn't formed as a traditional political entity. Its origin is a textbook example of modern internet culture where a single passing remark can be instantly weaponized, satirized, and transformed into a massive rallying cry. It all kicked off with an oral comment made by the Chief Justice of India during a high-level court hearing. He quickly clarified who he was actually talking about, but you know the internet. They already had their soundbite. Boom. Satirical cockroach junta party accounts erupted across social platforms, bagging millions of followers in a matter of days before those massive accounts were ultimately suspended. But the digital spark had already caught fire. That original remark equated certain online activists to cockroaches. Even though the CJI clarified he specifically meant people operating with fake degrees, the online community wholeheartedly embraced the insult. They completely flipped the narrative, using irony to unite this massive demographic of young people. They essentially turned a dismissive term into a huge, unifying identity that grew way, way beyond its original context. And all of this was set to collide on June 6th. The fact that their social media handles were suspended, honestly, it didn't even matter anymore. The digital call for a massive physical convergence at Jantar Mantar was already out in the wild. It was this leap from a banned internet meme to a highly publicized real-world flashpoint scheduled for this exact date that triggered the absolute legal panic. With that June 6 deadline breathing down their necks, the tension hit the halls of the Delhi High Court. Because of the crazy timing, the matter went to a vacation bench. The petitioners laid it all out: the public safety risks, the inflammatory online threats, the absolute need to secure the airport, and the sheer scale of the viral mobilization. They were begging for immediate, decisive intervention to force the police's hand before anyone could even gather. So what did the court do? Did they intervene? No. The vacation bench, comprising Justice Sora Banerjee and Justice Amit Sharma, explicitly refused to urgently list or hear the matter.
By denying that urgent hearing, the court essentially told the petitioners that skipping to the front of the line for immediate legal intervention just wasn't justified here. The Save India Foundation did not get the rapid-fire preventative court orders they were desperately looking for.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. The story of the Cockroach Janta party is absolutely fascinating because it forces us to ask, what actually happens when viral irony crashes head-on into state infrastructure? We saw a throwaway comment spawn a digital empire of millions, which then sparked a full-blown legal panic over the safety of airports and emergency services. The court might have passed on intervening urgently this time, but the underlying tension, that is completely unresolved. How should the law handle massive faceless online mobilizations born entirely out of satire? It is a giant question and one legal systems worldwide are definitely going to have to answer. Thanks for joining me and keep questioning the world around you.